Now, I could be mistaken, but I think that most people that watch videos on my channel do so because they like hearing a balanced, maybe thoughtful perspective on their comic books. But never let it be said that I don't have a sense of humour. Case in point, look at me now with this. I think it's pretty obvious who who I'm trying to look a little like. Thanks to my wife Mary for cobbling this together for me. Particularly this delightful wig. I'm actually kind of quite happy about it. Imagine if I had such lustrous locks in real life. Ooh. I think the eyebrows need a bit of pruning as well. Stay tuned to the end because I will be revealing details of how you can win one of 4 signed editions, signed by writer Christian Ward, of Two-Face Trial Separation. This was Two-Face's first series, 6 issues long, and I talked about it extensively on this channel. In fact, it was one of the first series that made me decide, you know what, I'm going to talk about comics as well. So I did Two-Face Trial Separation and the Absolute books. So yeah, if you want to win your own copy, one signed by Christian Ward. There you go. He signed it right there. One signed by Christian Ward. Stay tuned. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this is not just because Two-Face is my favourite Batman villain, but it's because there weren't any Absolute comics out this week, and I thought to myself, well, could I do something a little different? Maybe show a different side of myself and the channel that maybe people might be into. And I know that I did a video about a Batman event at Gosh Comics where they were selling 20,000 old vintage issues of Batman from the 1940s all the way up to the present day. I bought a load of stuff there, way too much stuff. And you might recall, if you watch that video, that I expressed some regret because I had to make a decision between buying vintage appearances of Two-Face, my favourite villain, hence the get-up, and the first appearance of Mr. Freeze. And I was like, I never see the first appearance of Mr. Freeze. It's hard to come by. It's usually much more expensive. I'm just going to get that. I only had the budget for one, but since then I've been tossing and turning in my sleep, anxious, angered, muttering to myself, gotta get Batman 50, gotta get Detective Comics 68, rah, 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 rah. So since then, for the last couple of months, I've been tracking down some vintage Two-Face appearances. Basically, Gosh Comics gave me the bug, and I want to show them to you today. But the first thing I want to show you is Detective Comics number 187. Now this one is graded, and those that are astute will notice that it's graded a 2.0, which means it's really tatty. I mean, you can see, oh no, don't look at my reflection. You can see that it's all torn up, but frankly, a 2.0 grade for a Two-Face appearance, one of his last appearances. What was that? Yeah, it's still the Golden Age. One of his last appearances. I couldn't resist it. Could not resist it at all. It's technically not Two-Face, it's someone impersonating him. By this point, Harvey Dent has been cured. He's invited to give a talk about Two-Face, and then Two-Face appears and he's robbing everyone. But Batman deduces that it's not really Harvey Dent, partly because the dude doesn't look like Harvey Dent, but because he has put the makeup on the wrong side. So he's basically made himself up to Two-Face, and he's done the right side in the scarred makeup because he'd seen a picture of Two-Face that had been reversed. So Batman took one look at him and was like, nah, you're not Harvey Dent. You're not Harvey Dent. He'd knocked out Harvey Dent and made Harvey Dent think he was Two-Face again. Again, not like massively important in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's really cool. The next one I want to share. So this was actually the first one I tracked down. And this was Batman number 81. I don't know what year this came out. I'm going to say the early 50s. I'm going to say 53. That's my guess. Probably 54. But anyway, this was the one that I wanted to get at Gosh. One of the ones I wanted to get at Gosh, I should say, but someone else got it. And it's the famous Two-Face flipping Batman and Robin on the coin. This was replicated in the Batman the Animated Series episode Almost Got Him. So in his Golden Age story, it ended with him getting cured, gets his face repaired, and as Harvey Dent, he sees some robbers one night breaking into some place trying to break open their safe, and he goes, oh, I'm going to deal with these ruffians, charges in, goes, listen here, Miladio, and then the safe blows up and burns off half his face again, and apparently he could never be never have his face surgically repaired again. And so it's like, Two-Face forever. Do you know what? I'm just going to open it. Just going to open it and have a look. Why don't I? Oh, I've got to be careful. So, Harvey Dent is cured. Sees the robbers, gets his face blown up. Two-Face forever! Ah! Yeah. Dick Sprang, Batman. Actually, I wonder if I can actually see what year this was published. 1954, how about that? I can't remember what I said. I think I said 53, possibly 54. It's 54. The next one I got, so this was another comic book they had at Gosh that I wanted to get once I had the money, because it didn't sell on that first day. It was still there when I went back like a couple of days later. But unfortunately, by the time I had the money together to get it, they had sold it. So I ended up tracking down a copy of Batman number 50. Again, with the graded stuff, it's kind of difficult to show it to you on camera because it's quite reflective. But this one has a 5.0 grading, so that's a a half. Okay, sticking with the theme. And obviously it's graded, so I can't actually read this one. But I think this is the one where Harvey Dent's butler impersonates him as Two-Face and tries to incriminate him after he's been cured. I think that's the case. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think this one was on the DC Infinite app, so I haven't been able to read it. But yeah, very happy to have this one. Next. So this is a big boy book, in my opinion. Certainly above what I would normally get. And this one is Detective Comics number 80, which is the third appearance of Two-Face, and it's when Two-Face gets cured. When was this one published? This one would have been... I'm trying to do the maths now. It's like 1948, I think. Might have been 19... You know what? I'm going to open it. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. I was completely wrong. 1943. Adolf Hitler was still alive then. Is that going to be my new metric? Oh, no, hopefully not. Now, you can see it's in fairly good condition, at least externally, for something that old. But the reason I was able to get this for a good price is because you will see the center pages have come out and they've come loose. Technically, they're from another copy of this book because you can see a difference in the paper quality. Like one is slightly off-white, one's a bit darker, a bit creamier. Can you see that? I'm not sure. But frankly, I don't care. The Two-Face story is completely intact. The thing to remember about these comics back in the day is that there wouldn't just be one story in there. There'd be, 3 or 4. It's got some Jack Kirby Boy Commandos in here, which makes me happy. Here we go. Bit of Jack Kirby Boy Commandos. Oh, just got a very strong whiff of ancient paper then. It's one of the joys of the comic collecting hobby, I think. So here we go. So there you go. You can see Two-Face is on trial. He grasses up his compatriots, and then he gets his face repaired. And once he's out of jail, he gets to go back to his normal life, at least until his face blows up later on. But okay, so the big boy, the big boy, the one that I promoted earlier on. Second appearance of Two-Face in Batman number 68. Now, looking at this, you'll think, oh my god, that's in tremendous condition. That must have cost a fortune. Well, I'm sorry to reveal that this... I'm just going to open it up. Unfortunately, the cover is completely detached, and it's a Xerox version of the cover. So the pages are the originals, but the cover came off long ago. And so the person who owned this just basically had a print made of the cover to keep it together in. Frankly, I don't care, because this is the only way that someone like me, someone dressed like this on YouTube, is going to be able to get their hands on one of these very significant comic books. Second appearance of Two-Face from... what year was that? That'd been 1942, probably. Second appearance of Two-Face. And you know what's funny? He first appeared in Detective Comics number 66. The second part of his story occurred 2 issues later in number 68. I think that's very fitting. But this is, one of these early... Oh, and by the way, you can see that this page has just got some gross manky stuff all on it. But the pages are all intact. They're all still connected. Some of the pages have got rips in them, but I don't think it's any of the Two-Face story. I love this panel here. So if you're not familiar with the story, Two-Face wants to get back with his fiancée, who abandoned him because he'd become hideous. So he puts a wax mask on. And she's like, oh, Harvey, I can't believe you're all healthy again. La, 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 let's have dinner. Oh no, the candle, it's melting your face off. Oh no. And then that makes him go into a rage as Two-Face again. I'm sure you were all absolutely delighted with my performance here. There are only 2 other vintage Two-Face comics I don't have. One of them is... oh, what number is it? It's an issue of Batman where Batman and Robin are tied up and Two-Face is standing there looking all perplexed and confused. So that actually isn't Two-Face, it's the Paul Sloan Two-Face, the second, possibly third Two-Face. There have been many imposter Two-Faces over the years. I don't have that one because I can't really find one that's at a price I'm willing to pay. And obviously the first appearance of Two-Face from Detective Comics number 66. Someone recently offered me that on eBay. They made me an offer of $21,000. Which is way out of my price league, like 20 times out of my price league, maybe 22 times out of my price league. But my first reaction was, you fool, you should have offered it for $22,222. But anyway, so that's been my my little show and tell. Thanks for watching, everybody, if you made it this far, or didn't just use the chapters to jump to the competition, which some of you might do, but a view's a view, right? Anyway, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Two-Face Trial Separation, signed by writer Christian Ward. I met him at Forbidden Planet a couple of weeks ago. He was a very nice gentleman. We spent a while talking just about Two-Face, even though he was there to promote his new comic, Event Horizon. I want to say Inferno. I may have got the name wrong. I'll put the correct thing right here. I'll just embed it so you'll know what it looks like, and then you can go and buy it from your local comic shop. So in order to stand a chance of winning one of these, you need to leave comments on my videos. And you need to use the hashtag #TheWrongHarvey. Okay? I'm going to put it up on screen. #TheWrongHarvey. Leave that on any of my videos, even on my main channel, that would be helpful. Or my comics channel. Everyone that does this will be added to a list, and the winners will be selected randomly. This is open globally, so I will pay the postage to get it to you. However, if there are import charges, that's your responsibility, okay? So that is like the key criteria for this competition. I'll pay to get this to you, but if the local tax man says, hey, give us some money for those sweet Two-Face comics, you got to do it, okay? If that's a deal breaker for you, then don't enter. It's open now, Saturday, the 2nd of May, and the final closing date is the 22nd of May. So you better get it to me by the end of the day, the 22nd of May, and I will announce the winners on the 23rd of May. Have you noticed a theme with how I've been putting all of this together? Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this slightly different thing. I'm sure the views will be much lower because most people only really care about the absolute comics, but thought we'd do a little bit of fun. Did I mention that Mary did this makeup? Yes, she did. She was actually a little anxious about it, thinking that, I wouldn't be happy with it. I really love these little bumps she's put on here. There's one under this eyebrow as well, but I'm afraid of touching the big eyebrow because it may all fall off. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that usual stuff. I'll be back next week with videos about Absolute Superman number, 19? This is the debut of King Shazam and how he wants to get revenge on Ra's al Ghul. I'll also be talking about Absolute Green Lantern 14. From the previews, it seems like the Enlightened group are examining Hal Jordan's new powers. And also there'll be Batman number 9, where Vandal Savage and his Tuco squad go on the rampage after Batman and his allies. Hope to see you then.